Hello everyone and welcome to another game of Squirrels Baseball. I am Aaron and we've got one more game against the Reds here in this series before we head off to St. Louis. If you saw my post earlier, we are recording this game just a little bit before 9 o'clock. Purdue baseball started their game early today at 4 o'clock to try to get in ahead of the weather, but the weather hit at the bottom of the 7th inning, which is when I left the game, but it was a one-run game with Purdue trying to rally, so I didn't want to miss the end of it. And good thing I stuck with it on the radio because Purdue ended up beating Nebraska on a walk-off home run. Walk-off two-run homer, I should say. After they really kind of choked last night in their game. So good bounce back from them, although it probably means no Big Ten tournament. So all that to say, we are starting this recording late, but we're going to get it in on the day I said I would, so that's all that really matters. Cincinnati is going to start Beam, who we have seen before, although I am almost 100% certain he was in Oakland A at the time, but he has had success against us. Cincinnati pitching really hasn't been the issue. They've handled us pretty well. The problem is Cincinnati has not scored any runs in the first two games of this series, and that's coming off the Brewers not scoring any runs in any of the games we played against them. So it's been 5 straight games of the Squirrels shutting out the opposition. Surely that streak can't keep going that much longer, but we'll find out today. So to catch up on this game, Kester flew out to center, and then Marvin with an infield hit on a ground ball to third, and then is consequently thrown out stealing, so still on pace for a 1-2-3 inning at the moment. Chief currently with a 1-1 count. That curveball misses. Fastball catches the outside corner to make it 2-2. Line drive into right, but Hopper is there to make the grab. So there is a hit, but it's still a 1-2-3 inning. We go to the bottom half of the inning where Hopper will lead things off. Normal lineup in for the Squirrels. Graves is on the mound. So the off day seemed to really have helped the rotation hang together like it's supposed to. First pitch to Hopper is a changeup for strike one. This one's fouled back to make it 0-2. Ground ball gets by Graves, and that will get into the infield, or the outfield rather, for a leadoff single for the Reds. Brings Shao to the plate. Graves into the stretch early. Gets a slider in there for strike one. Swing and a miss on the changeup. Fires in a fastball that's lined right over the base. The Reds starting off the game with back-to-back hits. Hopper made his way to third base. So runners on the corners with nobody out. Derek Lee at the plate. Graves does check over on first. First pitch is called a strike, a curveball, backdoor curve, I guess you'd say. Fastball catches the inside corner to make it 0-2. Graves has had every hitter so far at 0-2, but the first two guys were able to turn that into a hit. Derek Lee looks at strike three. That'll bring Adam Dunn to the plate, trying to break the consecutive inning shutout. That'd be what? 9 times 5, 45 straight innings without giving up a run at least. Well, that does break the seal. Ground ball that gets through the right side of the infield for Dunn. Drives in the first run of the game, and the Reds take a 1-0 lead. Still only one out. Runners on first and second. Encarnacion again down to 0-2. Pops this one up. Will Tom have room? I think he did, but didn't quite catch up to it. Landed just in front of the wall. This to short. Joey short hops it, gets to second, throw on to first. Squirrels get a double play to get out of the inning, but the Reds score a run before that can happen. So the first time the Squirrels have been behind in some time. Terry to the plate in the second. The Beam is a good enough pitcher. He might be able to make this lead stand up. We'll see how it shakes out. Terry grounds out to first. Frank at the plate now. He will look at strike one. Puts this one foul. 0-2. There's a ground ball to short. Not a good throw at all, and Lee unable to scoop it. Frank will reach on an error. Mark that one down, E6. Although it was Perez's error, but it was not thrown that hard. Lee should have been able to scoop it up. Not sure if it would have mattered. Anyway, Tom pops it up. Phillips makes the grab. 2 away. Runner still on first. Zach at the plate. He will look at a curveball for strike one. Another curveball swung on and missed. So all curveballs, and Zach can't hit any of them. That will end the top of the second inning. Still a 1-0 Reds lead, and Brandon Phillips is going to start things off for Cincinnati. Graves starts Phillips off with a fastball for a strike and then gets a swing and a miss on a curve. Throws the circle change and gets another swing and a miss for the first out of the inning. David Ross to the plate. He will look at a slider for strike one. Another called strike. 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike three. 2 down. Thomas Perez at the plate. Didn't end up mattering, but he just had the error last inning. Hits this one. He makes up for it, I suppose, with a hit down the first base line. 2-out single. Does bring the pitcher Beam to the plate. He looks to be hitting like a pitcher at 182. Does have a couple RBI in that, though. 0-2 count in this at-bat. He will hit a weak ground ball to third. Chief makes a good throw to first, and that will end the second inning. Reds still lead 1-0, though. Joey will lead things off for the Squirrels in the third.
Number 20, Joey, shortstop.
First pitch to Joey is a fastball right down the middle, and he lets it go by. Hits this one, and it will not get through the infield, but Perez is not going to have a... He does throw it, but he didn't have a prayer. So an infield hit for Joey to start off this inning. Graves will take a strike. Don't remember what metallic was supposed to be on that pitch. A ground ball that's going to end up like a bunt. Moves the runner to second. 1 away, and back to the top of the order we go. Kester flew out to center field in his first at-bat. Beam only 1 strikeout first time around, a little bit surprising. High hop to third, but oh no, he doesn't make the play. I thought Encarnacion had the arm, but apparently he did not. Another infield hit, and that brings Marvin to the plate. Pops this one up, and it does get down for a base hit. Throw goes home, but it won't be in time. This game is tied at 1. Chief now at the plate. Runners still on first and second, only 1 out. None of these balls have been hard hit off of Beam, but just very well placed. Chief with the 2-1 count. Hits this one into left, and Dunn doesn't have a prayer at that. That's going to one-hop the wall. 1 run in. Marvin stops at second, but it is an RBI double to give the Squirrels a 2-1 lead. That was just a gap line drive double all the way. That is why he is the doubles machine. Brings Terry to the plate. 2 runners in scoring position, and still just the 1 out. This game threatening to break open. here in the early going. Terry with an 0-2 count, though. Called strike 3. That's a big strikeout for Beam. Frank reached on an error last inning. If Beam can get out of this with the Reds only down 1, that's got to be a bit of a feather in his cap here. Ground ball to second, and that's exactly what he does. Could have been a really big inning for the Squirrels. Instead, they just take the 1-run lead. The Reds already back to the top of their order. 3 strikeouts for Graves the first time through. Hopper not one of those. He led off the Reds half with a single in his first at-bat. Has a 1-1 count. And puts this one again into shallow right for his second base hit of the day. Shao also got a hit back in the first inning. Starts off this at-bat well behind the fastball. And a check over on Norris at first. That pitch up and in. And a fastball that's put into center field. Marvin should have that, and he does. Hopper goes back to first. Derek Lee struck out looking in his first at-bat. Just does not really seem to have the juice here in Cincinnati. He's hitting for power this year, but average still just way down. Oh, this pitch gets away from Tom. I don't know why he took so long to throw it, because it didn't really get that far away. Derek Lee swings and misses. He has a 2-2 count. And he will put this, was it be out of Joey's reach? It will not. And Hopper had already taken off for third, so that turns into an easy double play to end the inning. So the Squirrels now leading 2-1, though the team's tied with 5 hits apiece. Tom popped up, I believe, to second. Phillips in his first at-bat. Pops this one straight back, but out of the reach of Ross. That fastball is too low. We got a 1-1 count. Grounds this one to third. Encarnacion will throw it over. 1 down. Zach at the plate. Struck out swinging in his first at-bat. Was the lone strikeout victim the first time through the Squirrels' order. Hits this one towards the middle. Perez makes a diving play. Can he get the throw there in time? No. That is another infield hit for the Squirrels. That's at least 3. And I might be forgetting one. Joey had one of those infield hits. He's quickly down 0-2 here. And swings and misses for strike 3. That'll bring Graves to the plate. He had a swinging bunt to first his first time up. It was a productive out. This one he puts in the air, and Hopper will not get there. It's going to drop in for a base hit. Runners on first and second. The Squirrels back to the top of their order again. Starting the third time through. That curveball bounces in. Then a ground ball to third. Encarnacion throws to first instead of stepping on the bag. Doesn't matter. It's an out either way. So the Squirrels up 2-1 as we go to the bottom of the fourth, where Adam Dunn will come to the plate. Dunn drove in the only Reds run so far. Leading off this inning, he will watch that curveball stay inside. There's a called strike. Another called strike on a curveball. Makes it 1-2. Popped up. Well, but nobody's there to grab it. That should have been Kester's ball, and I don't know what he thought was happening there. Can't call it an error, a mental error, but not an error in the scorebook, so it just has to go down as an infield hit. Encarnacion with a possible double play ball, though. Oh, he just beats out the throw to first, so the only out is at second. Phillips at the plate, 1 on, 1 out. He looks at a slider for strike 1. Hits this one more sharply to Joey. This looks more like a double play, and it sure is. Mark that one down, 6-4-3. Say Phillips hit that ground ball pretty hard, so that gave the middle infield plenty of time. So we'll go to the fifth. Squirrels still up 2-1, and Marvin at the plate. Marvin 2 for 2 on the day. don't think I've mentioned that he's batting left-handed, but he is. Curveball is out of the zone. The fastball misses up and in. Makes it 2-0. Beam needs a strike and he gets it. Marvin taking all the way. Takes this pitch as well, even though it was very hittable. 2-2. Swings at this one. Will it get down? It will. So Marvin 3 for 3 on the day. Brings Chief to the plate. He got a solid double in his last at bat. That curveball nowhere close. That's a better curveball, and Chief swings through it. Fastball misses down and out. Makes it 2-1. Marvin takes off again. Did he not learn his lesson the first time? And he is again thrown out. I don't know why he seems to think he can run on David Ross, but it's not worked out real well so far. So now the base is empty with 1 out and a 2-2 count. This one, well, it probably would have been a double play ball anyway. Ground ball to second. So now we've got 2 outs. Nobody on base, and Terry, who I don't believe has a hit yet, looks at strike 1. Pops this one foul, or, well, bounces it, I should say. Swing and a miss, strike 3, Beam out of the inning. We go to the bottom of the 5th, still a 2-1 ball game, and the Reds will start with David Ross at the plate. David Ross struck out in his first at-bat, watches that slider miss down by his feet, and hits the changeup foul right by his third base coach. 1-1. Swing and a miss makes him 1-2. And this misses outside. Misses inside. We've got a full count to start off the bottom of the 5th. Graves goes with the fastball that's put into center field for a leadoff single. That will bring Thomas Perez to the plate. He got a hit right over first base in his first at-bat. That slider looked low, but it's called a strike. Fastball misses, down and away. Another called strike, makes it 1-2. Called strike 3. Beam showing bunt, probably a good idea. And gets down a good one right down the line. Thought Beam was going to get tagged out. They do have to throw to first. But the Reds put a runner onto second with 2 outs. Norris Hopper, with at least 1 hit. I think he might actually have 2. Has an 0-2 count in this at-bat. That slider stays low. Hopper lays off. Hits this one. Will it get through? It will not. Kester makes the play and keeps it at a 2-1 ball game. We go into the 6th, where Frank will lead things off for Indianapolis. Frank 0 for 2, reached on an error and a ground out. Looks at strike 1. Swing and a miss, makes it 0-2. Swing and a miss. He was way behind that fastball anyway. 1 away. Tom at the plate. He is also 0 for 2 today. Looks at strike 1. Puts this into center field, but right to Shao. 2 down. Zach is 1 for 2. He swings and misses at the first pitch. Swings and misses at the second pitch. And that one kind of up by his head. Zach lays off, but then swings at that high fastball and comes up empty. We move into the bottom of the 6th inning. Shao is going to start things off for the Reds. Still a 1-run game. Shao 1 for 2 so far. Got a hit in his first at bat. looks at strike one to start off this at-bat. Hits this one pretty hard, but it's well foul. 0-2. That slider swung on and missed for strike three. One away. Derek Lee at the plate. He is 0 for 2, though you know he's capable of tying this game on his own. Curveball out of the zone. Fastball also out of the zone. Makes it a 2-0 count. There's a called strike on a curveball. Swing and a miss on the changeup. Makes it 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike three. 2 down. Adam Dunn with a pair of singles, though one of those was a mental lapse. Has an 0-2 count to start this at-bat. Graves does not mess around, gets him called out on a fastball on the outside corner. So we'll go into the 7th inning. 2-1 game. Joey's going to lead things off for the Squirrels, which means we'll have a pinch hitter coming up in that second spot. Not sure who that's going to be just yet, but we'll figure that out shortly. Joey's 1 for 2 as he watches that curveball bounce in. This fastball catches the outside to make it 1-1. Fastball too high. Joey lays off. Another high fastball. Well, this one is called a strike. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike three. All right. Graves is 1 for 2, but that's 6 good innings out of him, and we have a lead. So let's go with Phil. Phil has actually been a very good hitter so far, sporting a .350 average, 3 RBI. Said if he'd hit like this to start with, he would still be our starting second baseman, but the die is kind of cast now. First pitch is out of the zone. Second pitch is outside. 2-0. I think those are both curveballs. Goes with the fastball, doesn't get that call either. 3-0. Curveball, called a strike. Kind of almost felt like a courtesy call. That's a better curveball, and Phil comes up empty on the swing. Full count. Fastball down the middle, and Phil pops it up foul. Ross makes the play. 2 away. Kester at the plate. He's 1 for 3 so far. He will start off with strike one. Swing and a miss to make it 0-2. And then a ground ball to second, which will get us to the 7th inning stretch. 2-1 Squirrels. Edwin Encarnacion will lead off for the Reds on the other side. Right, we are going to get Jones out on the mound. He'll go into Kester's spot, so the play for Phil, maybe unfortunately, worked out like I thought it would. All right, Encarnacion 0 for 2. He's hit into a double play and another ground out besides. Jones starts off with the breaking ball but misses the plate with it. And a fastball lined into center field. Marvin cuts it off, and that's going to get Encarnacion to go back to first after a very big turn. The Reds going to turn to a pinch runner. Pickles comes in. They are aggressive about getting him on the bases. Phillips at the plate, looks at a ball. Kind of imagine he would run here pretty soon, but he hasn't yet. Phillips with a 2-1 count. Puts this one high in the air. Marvin waiting on it. And he dropped it. Oh my goodness. This could be a very costly error. E8. David Ross fouls the first pitch away. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Well, David Ross with a 3-run homer following the error in center field, and the Reds now lead this game 4-2. Jones hasn't gotten it out yet. Perez at the plate looks at a strike, and he's going to get a base hit into right, and this is falling apart in a hurry. Pitcher spot up. They do leave Beeman to hit. So we'll see if Jones can get some confidence getting out here. Gets a line drive to Joey, so that is the first out of the inning. Hopper at the plate. He's 2 for 3. First pitch is low. That breaking ball is just not doing anything, but thankfully Hopper missed it. And he's behind on that fastball to make it 1-2. Goes back to the breaking ball. That still wasn't great, but did what it needed to do. 2 away. Shao at the plate. Jones maybe not quite as rattled now. Gets a ground ball to third. And the 7th inning is over, but my, what a different ball game we have now. Reds leading 4-2 as we go into the 8th, and Marvin is due to lead off. Looks like Pickles is going to stay in and play short. Perez is going to move over to third. That's right, because Pickles pinch ran for Encarnacion. So that makes sense. Beam's still out there in the 8th, and he's still going strong. First pitch to Marvin is called a strike. Second pitch is not. 1-1. Called strike 2. Looked questionable, but here we are. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 1 down. Chief at the plate. He is 1 for 3 with a double. First pitch is called a strike. Swing and a miss makes it 0-2. And this is fair ball right down the line. It dribbles down into the corner. Chief is in there for his second double of the day. That one, it just tracked right down the foul line, landed on the right side of it, thankfully. Puts a runner into scoring position, though admittedly Chiefs' run doesn't mean that much. Terry, I do believe, is still hitless today. Watches that first curveball stay out of the zone. Grounds this one foul down the third base line. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Makes it 1-2. There's a ground ball. It'll advance Chief to third, but it is the second out of the inning. Brings Frank to the plate. 2 away. Runner on third base. First pitch is called a strike. I'm sure the Reds would rather Chief didn't score, but if he did, not a huge deal. But Beam gets a 3-pitch strikeout on Frank to make sure that doesn't happen. So we'll go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Reds leading 4-2, and Derek Lee to the plate. I guess we'll stick with Jones. I don't really have a great option, although he's already wiping his brow. Throws that breaking ball, though it is not doing much. 1-1. That fastball. I'm going to have to get Jones out of there, aren't I? Ah, crap. See what he can do with Lee, and then we'll talk. Gives up a hit up the middle. All right. So clearly Jones just didn't have his A game today, and he is depleted. Zap's actually fully rested, so I guess we'll go with that. Frank made that last out, so let's get him into his spot and get Quentin out there in left.
Your attention, please. Now coming on the pitch for Indianapolis, number 23, Zap.
So Zap has been just excellent all year, though we haven't had too many situations like this for him to come into. Dunn is 2 for 3 on the day, couple singles and a strikeout. First pitch here is called a strike, though it looked like it might have been a bit low. That actually looked like a better pitch, but didn't get the call on that one, so maybe it evens out. That fastball apparently high as well. There's a swing and a miss, makes it 2-2. Breaking ball gets another swing and a miss for the first out of the 8th. Pickles, his first at-bat of the day after coming into pinch run, and then running wasn't super necessary when Ross put it over the wall. Grounds this one to third, throw goes to second, out there. Not going to get Pickles at first, he is very fast. So Phillips, 0 for 3, did reach on the error, and Marvin just plain dropped a pop fly. First pitch is a strike. Then we have a stolen base attempt, and Pickles is in there pretty comfortably. 1-1 at the plate, and this into right field. Zach waiting for it, and he actually catches the ball. So we go into the 9th. The Squirrels need 2 to stay alive. We're going to start off with Tom. Red sticking with Beam, see if he can get that complete game win. First pitch is high. Maybe inside as well. Gets a swing and a miss on that pitch. Looked like it might have been outside. This one fouled away. Makes it 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 on the curveball. Oh, and they are going to go get Beam now. Is it Chad? John. Oh, I knew that. John Reinecker is going to take over. Apparently he is Cincinnati's closer this year. Beam goes 8 1/3. Zach 1 for 3 on the day. First pitch is down. That pitch over the plate. 1-1. Up and away. Whoop, just hit my microphone cable. Hopefully I didn't unplug anything. 2-1. Zach into the outfield. Dunn looks like, no, he's not. It's going to drop in. I thought Zach actually hit it harder than he did, which in this case was a good thing. So that brings a tying run to the plate in the form of Joey, who is 1 for 3 today. Swings and misses at the first pitch. Puts this one towards third. Perez makes the grab. Squirrels down to their final out. Phil at the plate, fouled out in his first at bat. Looks at this pitch inside. There's a called strike. Another called strike on a fastball, makes it 1-2. And bounces in a changeup. Phil lays off. Another one in the dirt. We got a full count, 2 outs. Runner will be off. And Phil with a base hit into left field. Dunn boots it a little bit. Doesn't really change anything. Puts runners on the corner. Quinton, his first at-bat of the day, he would be the go-ahead run. Watches that curveball break inside. And a called strike on a fastball on the outside corner. He is behind on that fastball. 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that is your ball game. The win streak comes to an end today. Your final score, Indianapolis Squirrels 2, Cincinnati Reds 4. Boy, that just turned around in a hurry in that 7th inning. Jones just did not have his stuff today. I think they skipped right over the Reds' first run, but it doesn't really matter because David Ross, who's, I mentioned, he has done this to us before. He's pretty consistently hit home runs against us. Comes through again, and he is, unsurprisingly, your player of the game. So thank you everybody for watching. Sorry for the late upload. Tomorrow is the last Purdue baseball game, so that shouldn't really be a problem again. Yeah, so again, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff if you feel so inclined. And we will be in St. Louis tomorrow. We will see you then.